Hello, we are a group of occupational therapy students from San Jose State University, and we're going to talk to you about the benefits of risky play and how it relates to occupational therapy. So what is OT for kids? Pediatric occupational therapy helps children gain independence by strengthening the development of fine motor skills, gross and visual motor skills, cognitive skills, and self-care tasks that children need to function and socialize. Here's a little refresher on the senses. As most of us learned in kindergarten, there are 5 senses: sight, taste, touch, hearing, and smell. But believe it or not, there are 2 more: proprioception and the vestibular system. Proprioception is the sense that lets us know where our bodies are and how they move and how much strength our muscles need, or how much strength our muscles need to use. For example, it's what helps you maintain your posture and motor control. The vestibular system is a sensory system that provides our brain with information about which way is up and which way we are moving. It tells us about our head position and how or if we're moving. Your understanding of movement and balance helps you coordinate the movement of your head with your eyes, enables you to use both sides of your body at the same time, tells you which direction you're going and how fast, and enables you to remain upright. Basically, the vestibular system is your body's internal GPS. So why does this matter? Well, there's a system known as sensory integration, which takes all the information we gather from our senses and literally makes sense of it. It's the process of the brain organizing and interpreting information. Sensory integration provides a crucial foundation for later, more complex learning behaviors. For most children, sensory integration develops in a course of ordinary childhood activities. But for some children, sensory integration does not develop as efficiently as it should. When this process is disordered, a number of problems in learning, development, and behavior may become evident. Kids with sensory processing disorders have difficulties organizing and responding to the environment that comes in through the senses. Kids may be overly sensitive to sensory output, undersensitive, or both. These issues can have a big impact on learning and on everyday life. So, it's a child's job or occupation to play, to develop physical coordination, emotional maturity, social skills, and self-confidence, to try new experiences and learn in new environments. The act of playing is an important tool that influences a child's life and is key in developing sensory integration. The primary goals of childhood are to grow, learn, and play. It is often through play that children learn how to make sense of the world around them.
So now that we've talked about some of the benefits of play and how children learn through it, let's talk a little bit about what's currently going on in the world with the COVID-19 pandemic and how that's impacting play. Studies have shown that children are less physically active and spending less time playing outside compared to before the COVID-19 outbreak. This could be due to park closures, the fact that children do not have a scheduled recess time as most learning is remote at this time. Play is important because it can help children cope with stress from adjusting to life transitions, such as life during the COVID-19 outbreak. We have all been experiencing a lot of disruptions in our typical daily routines, not just as adults, but this is also impacting the routines that children are experiencing as well. It's equally important to make sure children are getting unstructured playtime. Unstructured play can give children a sense of control during uncertain times. By unstructured play, we mean play that does not necessarily have an end learning objective and play that is not directed by a parent or teacher. So this is more of a hands-off approach to play that lets kids really explore their environment and they sort of get to decide what the end goal is.
So, what exactly is risky play? Risky play includes one or more of these different elements. So, play at high speeds, play with tools, play in your elements, play with a chance of getting lost, rough and tumble play, or play with heights. So, we're going to dive into each of these and share some of the benefits. So with Play with Heights, some of the benefits include exposure to risky play opportunities can help children achieve competence and resilience. You can see in the little GIFs, they are playing from different heights or practicing balance. And so children can help better control their voluntary movement and learn to perform task-related steps in a more efficient manner. So when you have play with tools, it can be any kinds of tools, things like knives, hammers that you can see. And playing with tools is a really positive way to reinforce risk-taking boosts. And that can increase one's self-esteem and confidence and can carry over to future obstacles that children might experience in their lives. And through tool usage, children can learn to use objects as they are intended and handle objects appropriately.
So the third form of risky play is play at high speeds. As we can see in the images here, we have a couple children at different ages engaging in different types of age-appropriate play at high speeds. This kind of play includes fast movements that involve uncertainty and fear. And as we know, children experience feelings of uncertainty and fear in different spaces and environments in their life throughout development, such as academic settings, social environments, and of course, playing outside. So this increasing confidence in engaging with these feelings through risky play and moving at high speeds can translate into these other environments, which is really great for their development. During this style of risky play, a child develops their ability to calibrate their force when interpreting the environment. They learn to stabilize while taking in lots of different sensory information. And they're also working on their vestibular and proprioceptive bodily functions, which are engaged during these fast movements. The fourth type of risky play is play near elements. So this includes playing near fire, water, playing with dirt or with the earth. So in these images, you see one child learning to light a fire, and he responds by quickly moving away to maintain his safety, but he's increasing his confidence there. And in the other image, you see a couple different children engaging with water in different ways based on their age. And by playing with the elements, so playing near fire pits, near deep bodies of water, near cliffs, the children learn to respect environmental dangers while navigating them safely. And by responding to their sensory input and integrating that information, they can incorporate these dangerous elements into play while developing their ability to navigate the environment safely, practice good judgment, and regulate their emotions.
The fifth kind of risky play that we're going to talk about is play with a chance of getting lost. When children explore, they discover new territory for themselves. Taking on the unknown in a child's mind increases depth perception and reduces separation anxieties. During this type of play, visual acuity, higher level cognition, and emotional regulation are important factors that children are engaged in. In the sixth and final type of risky play, here we see rough and tumble play. Children wrestling develops their relationship by experiencing mutual trust and social etiquette. Along with the physical development experienced when engaging in this form of play, a child learns how to interact with their peers in a socially agreed upon manner. In the following slides, we're going to be going over some resources that can help increase parents and caregivers' comfort levels with risk-taking in children's play. The first is outsideplay.ca. It's an online risk reframing instrument with the goal of increasing parents' tolerance of their children's age-appropriate risk-taking. Within this website, there's a 3-step process that takes 15 to 45 minutes to complete. The first of which gives caregivers time to reflect on their beliefs and the current status of their children's play activities. The next, videos role play scenarios and offer explanations of how risky play can help their children develop both physically and cognitively. In the third step of this website, caregivers are able to complete an action plan in a way to make concrete strides towards allowing their children to experience risky play. You can discover more at www.outsideplay.ca.
The second resource for families, OTs, and those interested in becoming OTs is Outdoor Kids OT in Oakland, California. Outdoor Kids OT is an inclusive nature play group led by licensed occupational therapists trained in their specific nature approach called Contigo, which stands for Connection and Transformation in the Great Outdoors. Outdoor Kids OT was started by an OT, Laura Park Figueroa, who worked in pediatric OT for 15 years in primarily traditional settings. And then she started to experiment with what OT would look like outdoors. She found that the natural world inspired children to be more self-motivated during therapy sessions, and she saw a pretty profound change in the children as a result. So she created Outdoor Kids OT, and the groups usually consist of 3 to 4 children. And some receive OT services that are related to developing fine motor skills, attention, social skills. And there's also an opportunity for peer playmates who enjoy the benefit from outdoor play in nature with peers, but aren't necessarily receiving OT services. There's training for interested OTs, and there are really great volunteer opportunities for students who are interested in learning more about OT.
So a third resource, if you're interested in learning more about risky play, is a playground called Adventure Playground located in Berkeley, California, where children can engage in different risky forms of play. The children are supervised by staff and parents, but they get to engage in risky play by building with rigid materials and tools, riding zip lines and climbing structures, painting and making art, and so using all kinds of tools and non-traditional forms of play at a park. And all of this promotes physical and cognitive challenges for developmental growth, use of safety judgment, promotes self-confidence and cooperation with others. You can learn more at the City of Berkeley website linked down below. And while there aren't OTs in this space, this is a space that definitely incorporates all of the principles and kind of guiding concepts that OTs use in our practices.
So to wrap up what we've talked about, especially during these times with the COVID-19 pandemic, kids do need the opportunity to get outside and play. Since many parks are closed, risky play offers a lot of alternatives. Using natural elements around you, like playing in the woods or the ocean, exploring heights through climbing trees, or using tools to work in the yard or build a dollhouse are all great ways to get kids outside and explore risky play. All these activities are so important for kids to meet the many developmental milestones that can get arrested without fostering these fundamental sensory processing skills through play. Plus, it's great fun. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please take our poll and share your thoughts on risky play and OT.